Tracy.
Hey, Kerry.
Thank you so much for making time to come on to my podcast called I Didn't Sign Up for This.
Absolutely. I couldn't wait when I saw that you were going live with your podcast.
Yeah, I was excited because I think one of the things that we shared was how we met a long time ago and we didn't know that either one of us would be sitting here today. And I think that's just a testament to how the Lord is in every single part of our life, way before we even know that it's coming. He is in every detail, even when we don't see him there. And that's important to remember, especially when we're going through the time of challenge and change.
True. Challenge and change is where I feel like God's driving the train. And do you want it to stay on the tracks or is it going to come off?
Tell me more about that.
I think it aligns so well with your podcast and my journey of I'm now battling cancer.
Right. And tell us how that started, because that's kind of the title of your particular story is.
It is. If I had to put a name to the book or to a chapter, it would be 7 days from boob job to brain surgery.
Right. Yeah.
Because literally it was 7 days that I went in between those two surgeries. It took the first surgery of redoing some upper body work.
Right.
To actually realize that something was not right with me. And my family saw it, slurring my words, just didn't seem to be balanced. My cognitive functions were a little off. And so that's when the actual plastic surgeon said, this is not normal.
Right.
Get Tracy to the ER. So my family did take me to the ER, and that's where we found out that they did an MRI, and I actually had a brain tumor.
Right.
About the size it's about 6 by 4 centimeters.
Okay.
Which is about the size of an oblong egg.
Wow.
So then you're forced to, in these brain surgery situations, you actually have to find a team of doctors at a hospital that will take you.
Okay. Right. Because I'm sure not everybody's qualified in this level of specialty. What type of brain cancer was this, if you don't mind kind of sharing that at all?
It's the most deadly of all of them. It's called Glioblastoma Multiforme.
Okay.
Which means the pathways are just crossing, the highways are just crossing each other.
Okay.
And it allows it to spread quickly, grow quickly. So I feel pretty lucky that one surgery led to another, because otherwise, Kerry, I don't know if we would have found it.
Right. Because from all recollection, and I knew you prior to going into your procedure. I had really just seen you, and you didn't have any signs or symptomology that anything was off at all. You thought you were good to go and have some reconstruction done. It was just time for that process in your life to happen, right? And so you felt like, this is what I'm going to do. What was it for your birthday? You thought, this is going to be my birthday gift to myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a double gift.
A double gift. Yeah.
When you look at glioblastoma, which is called GBM, and I had stage 4, which is the highest you can go, the worst stage possible.
Wow.
Forced us to, my family pulled together, all of my siblings. I'm the middle of 5. We call ourselves the Fab Five.
Yeah.
And we ended up, Christina, my sister-in-law, ended up texting out a mass message stating, we're in an urgent situation with Tracy. She's in the ER. She has a brain tumor. We need to find a doctor. Does anybody know? I mean, this is just
Like we're in a sudden panic, right?
And just sending out a open-ended text, she actually got a response back.
Wow.
From one of her college, girlfriends, etc. Said, "Hey, this is Amy. I work for the VP at Baylor Scott White.
Oh, wow.
Let's try and get a hold of him."
Okay.
And so Michael Williams actually put together an entire brain surgery team.
Wow.
And accepted me, I had to go to a different hospital where the surgeon was. I mean, we're talking, I was operated on within 48 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to pause a little bit and ask you, getting news like that and so suddenly, how did that feel for you? Did you have enough time to process any of those feelings? And if you did, what were those feelings? Or were you in the other realm of, boom, I don't even have time to think, my head's swirling? Where were you in that space?
I mean, such an emotional moment.
Okay.
For all of us, because all of my family was there with me in the ER. And to actually hear that and to see it on the screen that they showed us, I mean, it causes you to just break down. I mean, you literally break down. We were all just, praying for the Lord to give us guidance, because these were very, very big decisions. My siblings and myself, we were making. Right. Do we operate? Do we not? What if he snips something too close? Cognitive functions can be gone. Speech can be gone. So we just prayed that, the Lord would guide us. And he gave us Dr. Kulonsky, which is a brain surgeon from Baylor Scott White. And he actually got 100%.
Right, which is not common, right? What is the common?
No. The common number they look at is minimum, if 80% is gotten, they consider that to be good.
Okay.
I mean, it leaves 20% still roaming around your head.
Right.
But totally amazing.
He was able to capture that without any impairment.
True. But there's a lot that went behind pre-surgery. They brought in a team from GE Medical.
Okay. And what is GE Medical?
They used, I called them my AI nurses, because these two gamers.
Oh, nice.
Used AI. And that they had a whole system with NVIDIA chips. They used AI. They ended up working my breathing and my heart pumping so that they knew exactly how much anesthesia to give me without me knowing, in order to get the doctor through a faster 9-hour surgery versus it could have easily been an 18-hour surgery. Wow. I mean, as some of the pictures showed, they totally opened up the right side of my head.
Correct.
As a craniectomy.
Okay. And so were you were asleep during surgery or awake?
Definitely asleep.
Okay.
I told him I didn't want to feel a thing.
Okay.
And to please save my hair.
And so well, you're even a beauty queen even in those moments, aren't you?
True.
And true to Tracy. So of course all of that happens. And I love that your first response was leaning on the Lord, because ultimately we need the spirit realm. We don't need the realm of the flesh at that point, right? They're just the action. But we know God has supernatural abilities to communicate with those of us who are listening and hearing and attentive to that, and to work things in our manner. So that's just a praise right there, that you had a family that supported you in that way. Not everybody has that, I'm sure.
That's true. But it's also, it brings the question of why.
Yeah.
Why me, Lord? Why did this happen to me? And it was a huge burden that I put on myself of the why. I mean, so much so that it tears you up. You're upset every day and, for the journey that is ahead. And you definitely can't make it by yourself. So I looked at my sister in Houston, Kelly, and Brad had to convince me that the Lord could have easily taken me, could have snatched me up at my worst when I was literally in the ER room, hearing the news and then getting additional news from MD Anderson that I had 3 months to live based on my condition. So when all this faces you, they told me, the Lord still has plans for you, Tracy.
Okay.
That's your why. That's why you need to find out. Why did he keep you here?
Right.
That's what you need to go search.
Yeah. Not why did it happen, but the latter. Why are you still here? And why did you go through that?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And it's turning out to be that he did not want me to be with my mom and dad yet.
Yeah.
My heavenly family, he chose to leave me with my earthly family and friends and co-workers. And, it ended up being an entire year journey of trying to rid myself of this brain tumor and walking where the doors opened. That's what I decided.
Okay. That was a good point, because when you're in that, how do you just not get stuck in the loop, right? The loop of kind of going down in that pit. So,
right.
So for you, it was more, let me just walk through this door and see what happens. That's kind of the approach that you took.
There's so many choices you end up having. You've really got to make right choices, because if time extends, it ends up being more fatal to your tumor. It ends up, versus a benefit. So you've got to make decisions quickly. And part of that journey was I had decided to do chemo and radiation. I got accepted at MD Anderson in Houston.
Okay.
So that's where I did 30 rounds.
Okay. So you did both chemo and radiation.
Chemo and radiation.
Okay.
And it temozolide is a type of chemo pill.
Okay.
That actually works best with glioblastoma brain tumors. So that's, a course that they already put me on, but we're still behind the scenes.
Right. You're still working on optimizing your body, right? We're
researching. We're, who is out there. And we found a Dr. Dumas in Newport Beach. And he has a patented gamma knife radiation.
Okay.
So it's it's like a blade saw coming down. And his patent covers the highway lanes that travel in your brain. And he hits those, disables them, so the cancer cells cannot travel. Okay. So I ended up flying to Newport Beach because I did get accepted by him and his team.
Right, which is difficult in itself.
It is difficult because when you have 30,000 people a year getting this horrible brain tumor and even more passing per year, he can only accept 20% of the applications. So we're talking applications from all around the world.
Right.
And he thought I would be a good case.
Based on
the surgeon doing such a good job.
Okay.
That he felt like he could really go in there and block the highway lanes of the brain that the cells travel in order to give me more time. You see, I'm looking for anything beyond 3 months.
Right.
Is where we're going as a family. And how do we do that? And we thought this would be definitely an extension. I mean, if you go to Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach or Dr. Dumas and his website, he definitely shares with you. We watched a 2-hour webcast just to see how he does it. What does he do? And he's hoping that it can easily give me years.
Yeah.
And you know, thank the Lord that I did make it 1 year.
Yeah, you've made it 1 year. And also want to, you made a point when I was kind of doing your preliminary conversations about, you knew that this type of cancer was very, very active, very aggressive. You were already in stage 4. And you said, I want to find what? That was what you said to me. I want to find who? You want to find
the longest person who's living with GBM4. Because I want to take the worst cancer, which is stage 4, and who is still living. What did they do different?
Yeah.
As we know, John McCain, Senator John McCain, died of GBM4, exactly what I have, within 12 months. Ted Kennedy Jr., same thing. He got GBM4 and died within 12 months. So you're facing tragedy and trying to come up with a solution on how to solve it. And they have all the money.
Right.
And they have access to all the doctors in the world.
Right.
So I tried to go with who has survived.
Yeah.
And his name is Ben Williams, Professor Dr. Ben Williams, and he's out of San Diego. At the point in time, he was a professor at San Diego State, and he ended up getting GBM4. And so it's his story that I just became enthralled with. I mean, 30 years and he's still alive to date.
Right.
That's a hell of a long time.
Yeah. So he survived 30 years versus 3 months.
Right.
And so you were really just inspired by him.
Definitely inspired by him and the choices he made and how he had to advocate for himself, even with neuro-oncologists, even with the doctors. Even myself, I still have to do that to date. You know, you have to fight for your life sometimes. And just seeing his journey and the off-label medicines he took.
So did he write this in a book or a report?
Yes.
Or how did you find out this?
He wrote it in a book, Search Ben Williams.
Okay.
And it's actually his own story about what all he did with on-label, you know, FDA-approved drugs.
Okay.
Off-label. Maybe some are not approved by the FDA. But obviously they've worked. They've
worked for him.
They've worked for him.
Yeah, they worked for him. And so far they're working for you as well.
Yes. And trust me, you hear his story where he was actually going back and forth between Mexico and the U.S. to get some of his prescriptions.
Wow.
You know, because you don't need a prescription in Mexico. And I've kind of done the same things, although I'm using, you know, the ones that have been in the news, definitely.
Okay.
When I started radiation, I started taking ivermectin, membenzenol. And it actually had me sail through radiation.
Okay. So when you say you did that under the care of a physician, right? Overseeing that? Or how did you know, like, what to take and like what mixes with what? I mean, I think you have to be mindful of all of those, you know, contraindications of medications working with another. So I don't want to put that out there with people going, oh, I can just take this and do that. And you know, so how did you?
There is a lot of information out there on the website based on how many pounds or kilograms you weigh.
Okay.
what you should be taking, but also, you have the medical side, you also have a wellness side.
Okay. So like an optimization side and a treatment side, I guess is what you're saying. Okay.
Yes. And the wellness side takes in some of the newer type, maybe not approved, yet let's try it out, because it's not the medicine that's going to kill me. It's having the brain tumor come back. That is going to be, a tragedy. Having that happen. So when you look at it that way, I mean, I'm not doing anything that's hurting my body. I mean, these are choices that I researched, that I chose, that some doctors look at what's being done in Europe.
Right. In other countries other than just the United States.
That's right.
Yeah.
And some of these wellness doctors, are just amazing at the knowledge that they have and the IV therapies they're willing to do for you that will fight cancer also. And I'm also under the care of a wellness doctor too. So I have the medical side, I have the wellness side. And it is truly, I think, a combination of all of these that has helped me
be so successful.
Successful to 1 year.
Yes.
PTL is what I say. Praise the Lord.
Oh, praise the Lord.
PTL.
PTL.
Because I do find that when you look at some of the recommendations I've been given is taking mistletoe.
Right.
And when people say, are you crazy? No, I'm not. When you go research now mistletoe, and they actually convert it into a serum, which you do as an injection, 50% of Europe, if they have cancer, are already on mistletoe. And how there is just something, there's books on it, there's technical documents on it, there's medical documents on mistletoe. Actually, Johns Hopkins just published one last year on mistletoe. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And I got it before that article even got published.
Okay.
Sometimes I would say institutions, doctors, hospitals, big pharma, everybody's a little late to the game.
Sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah. Yeah.
This is where the benefits of you being a businesswoman prior, and you've always been kind of a researcher and investigator, a real brazen on the forefront. You're not someone to just sit back and then just hope everybody else figures it out.
Right.
Right. So that was part of your nature prior to this as well. And it's really suited you. So you, even to that point of your life up until this point has already been in such a way that you had these tools equipped. You had the relationships and then those friendships and just different things. And all of that collective has kind of married itself together. It's become a little bit like a puzzle for you.
Yeah. It's become a puzzle, but I do feel like I've had some heavenly guidance on putting it together.
Oh, yeah.
The door opening, the door closing. Because it's hard to say that there's amazing in facing a situation like this. But when I went into radiation last year, it's when my sister was she's a counselor in Houston, and she ended up being off for the summer. So she took me every day to MD Anderson radiation.
Wow.
I mean, it's just those little things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how was I even going to do that?
Right.
Finished that, jumped on a plane, went to Newport Beach for Gamma Knife, wow, that totally rocked my world. As in, I landed in the ER for two days that weekend. That's how much it put radiation in my body.
Okay. So it was so intensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I researched, like you said, all these individuals. There's probably a handful of individuals that I follow, I research, and I look for ways to help me. Can I gain an edge? Can I gain time? It's all about time, but I also got to realize it's perhaps not just my timing,
Right.
but somebody much more powerful than me, his timing.
Right.
And just the amount of prayers people contact me and that they're praying for me and they're passing the message along to their churches, to their, and so many of them. One of them was a Vietnam Catholic church, and they lit candles for me. I was just so happy, you know, that, you know, because to me, it doesn't matter what religion you share. You know, there's always a higher power that any and everybody usually looks up to. And so it was quite amazing to have so many people reach out to me with their faith and their wisdom and just telling me to keep it up. So after Gamma Knife, additional radiation, then I ended up going into IV therapy with wellness. I ended up doing my soon-to-be FDA approved, hopefully, ivermectin, benzoyl, a whole entire treatment that actually I got out of a pharmacy in India.
Oh, wow.
You know, because it was a lot to try and get back then. A year ago, it was very controversial, these drugs.
Okay.
You know, and what they're doing for parasites and for people and cleansing them and etc. So that was my choice to go to India to get them. And I'm still getting them to this date. And I truly feel like, you know, has it made a difference? I would say yes. I'm sitting here talking to you, so something's made a difference.
Oh, of course. Of course. So, question, was there any moment for you where there was like an impacting moment, like a connection with someone or something unexpected that really just was like, that moment changed things for me, or I was in a pit and that moment brought me out of that pit? Was there anything that someone said or did? I'm sure there was a lot of moments, but are there any moments that stand out for you in that?
Definitely the one I mentioned with my sister saying, if God would have wanted you, he would have taken you. Because it just played over in my head like a VHS tape. You know, just over and over and over again. And I'm still asking the whys. And part of me sitting here with you is to share with people my choices, my journey, and how do we get this message out to more people so they don't spend. I was spending probably 12 hours a day researching.
Wow.
Until 3 and 4 in the morning. Researching articles, reading publications, and just finding. I have it in Excel spreadsheet. I probably have a list of 50 medications and supplements.
Oh,
that I am taking, whether it be natural supplements,
right,
as in vitamin C, but I also do the high dosage vitamin C therapy.
Right, intravenously.
I also do ozone therapy. I do diflucan to kill any of the bacteria in my body.
Mm-hmm.
There is a whole list of cancer fighting IV therapies that I do
Mm-hmm.
based on me finding, and I'll just share with you, I found a wellness doctor called Dr. Ganino
Right.
here in Dallas, or Heath.
Mm-hmm.
And he has actually attended like well over 1,000 cancer patients.
Right.
And he told me I'm not going to be his first one to go.
Oh, yeah.
So it is wonderful to have
An advocate like that.
somebody like that on your side.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point in time, I mean, with this, I still have scars from half of my skull being taken off, and which causes headaches. I mean, there is some level of pain throughout this, and headaches was one of them. And getting the right medication sometimes is perplexing with doctors.
Oh.
I guess until they face something like that and go through this themselves, they don't really understand some of the pain levels. So I was like, wow, Dr. Ganino, I'm having these headaches. And he goes, I said, I can't even get Tylenol 3. The doctors won't even give it to me. He goes, oh, I will. I mean, that is an amen.
An amen. Yeah.
I mean, you just take it only when it's needed, only if it's severe. I mean, it's, but at least it's in your toolkit. That's what I call all of this.
Right.
My GBM4 toolkit.
Right.
That I've allowed to put together through all of this research and learning, and, me being able to share this just means a lot.
I'm glad.
I'm glad. I was just, I was familiar with Dr. Ganino as well. And I love the way that connection even came through to you, right? That was just another, like, I call him like God winks, actually. It's like,
Winks.
yeah,
Yes.
God winks. He's like, hey, got another avenue for you. Why don't you just look over here? And he kind of guided you, right? You wanted to move closer to your family.
Yes.
And so it was a realtor, right? Who just said, what did she say? Like, here you're hiring someone and you're not expecting anything more than a transactional, sell my house so that I can move on. But she was intentional, right? And
she was so intentional. She said, Tracy, I got to pray for you. And that realtor, Amanda Ravetti, prayed for me in my driveway outside. It was such a God wink moment that we were both crying.
Oh.
And she said, hey, you need to go see Dr. Ganino. Oh, who's this? She goes, I just see he's on the next path that you're going to be taking. You're talking about what is next, what is different, what can be done different from others. And she said, he's the one to go see for that.
Wow.
So that's how I got there.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know you knew him.
Right. Because I don't think I had already gone through all my health stuff at the time. And so that had been an older season of my life. So when I met you, it wasn't anything that, and you were not having any issues at the time, right? I mean, other than, normal everyday,
Right.
challenges. And so, yeah. Right. And so then the other day when we connected, I was like, oh yeah, he helped me too, in such a trying time. And, he's helped many, many people. And so I'm glad that I always think it's another blessing. Both of us are sitting here as a testament. I was very, very ill. You've had your challenges also being very ill, and we are both here. I am fully recovered of all of my stuff. And you are right now. Yeah.
Right
still
now,
doing great.
I had my last MRI May 29th, and it comes back no new growth.
Right.
And actually, my inflammation is down. I have been put on Avastin, which is a immunotherapy.
Okay.
So I was asking for an immunotherapy for over a year.
Wow. And who did you ask? I guess that's
Like when I was at MD Anderson,
Okay.
because it's me and my research, I'm looking for preventative.
Mm-hmm.
I want that preventative measure because I see how serious this is.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me they would only do immunotherapy if it grew back. If it grew back. The last thing I would ever want would be for it to grow back.
right.
But that was their response. That was their medical response. They cannot do immunotherapy unless it comes back for regrowth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
frustrating. Even
Yeah.
when you want to be your advocate.
It is. I did.
Mhm.
It is. And even in my case, when you look at my pathology on this egg,
Mm-hmm.
which just thinking about it seems gross, right? This
Mhm.
egg tumor in my head. Part of it was BRCA,
Okay.
part of the pathology, which is the gene that is in breast cancer.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It is the gene in breast cancer. It was
Okay.
actually in my tumor.
Okay.
I had IDH, unmethylated wild type, and it ended up rating. Ben Williams took tamoxifen, which is a breast cancer drug.
Okay.
So I thought, wow, not only is it in my pathology, but he was taking it not even.
Right. He's a man, so why would he need a breast cancer?
And
Yeah.
he does feel like tamoxifen, I mean, it's on even his short list.
Okay.
And women take it every day who have breast cancer. They really do. So, hey, okay, another thing. This is not going to kill me,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody would give it to me. MD Anderson wouldn't give it to me. And it is a off-label drug, but they would not give it to me. I even used the Right to Try Act, which is Donald Trump's. He passed it a year ago,
Okay.
that you can advocate for yourself
Okay.
and you can ask for a off-label drug to be applied to you.
Okay.
So I even used the Right to Try Act with MD Anderson, and they still said no. So guess
Wow.
what? My innovative, creative buying skills,
You found a way.
I ended up getting my tamoxifen
Mm-hmm.
from India.
There you go.
And
There you go.
there you go. It's in my
your
body.
toolbox. Yeah, it's in your
It's in
body.
my-
It's in toolbox.
It is in my toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
So what treatments would you say have been the best wellness treatments that you've done? Do you have like 3 or 5 that you would say those are my top 3 or 5, like for wellness? So we'll do off-label and we'll do
Yeah.
wellness. So
Yeah.
just to break that down for listeners. So
Yes.
wellness, let's start with your 5, and they don't have to be in order of importance, but what would be the kind of the top 5 that you think they have been the most
Right.
effective?
On the wellness side, I will say it's looking at the ivermectin, the membenzenol. I mean, it even gets any parasites if you have them in your body. It gives it time to kill them anyway,
Good.
right? Which is a good cleansing. On the wellness side, it's taking my mistletoe injection,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that is just so amazing what's happening in Europe with that type of product.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also LDN. It's called low dose naltrexone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually a pill, a prescription pill that I did receive, and the pharmacy gave it to me. Hallelujah. So I was able to take, it's called LDN,
Mm-hmm.
low dose naltrexone. And there is just so much positive benefit on social media about this prescription. There's even a website called honestmedicine.com
Mm-hmm.
that goes through low dose naltrexone, which has been around since the early 1900s or before.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it was definitely used by doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And one lady, between mistletoe and low dose naltrexone, she feels like it actually gave her husband 15 more years of GBM4.
Wow. Just those two alone, she felt like.
She felt like, along with his regimen,
Okay.
which I've read about, looked into, and, it just kind of helps give me assurance that, wow, 15 years. So I've gone from 3 months to 1 year. I've really got to make that second year. That 12 to 18 month is a crucial time
Mm-hmm.
for these cells. And I hope that I've either blasted them enough with radiation or I have done the right wellness programs or IV therapies, or I still do the chemo pill.
Okay.
I do still do a chemo pill.
Mm-hmm.
The doctors feel like that, hey, TMZ may not just be the best, but it is the best for my type of cancer. And he feels like, kind of like how I look at it, not going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it can only benefit you, is how he looks at it. So 5 days a week out of each month, I do a chemo pill.
Mm-hmm.
As it's in my toolkit.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of what I put as my regimen for me trying to fight back against this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know you said you just got back from the beach. You took all your family to that. And why did you want to do that? Why did you want to do that?
When this first happened, emergency room, we're all together. It has changed their lives also this entire past year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't been like this, 6 and 8 months ago.
Right.
I have been in physical therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I went through a whole entire occupational therapy, all the way down to the basics of reading a menu. How much do things cost? Adding them up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my family was there when I was at my worst,
Mm-hmm.
of not even probably putting 2 and 2 together at some stages.
Right.
When I was just, in significant either pain or after my craniotomy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had 4 IVs, 2 and 2 of just pain meds going in me. I called myself the green machine because I just felt like all this green IV drugs were going in me to help combat the pain, the swelling, everything that comes after this, and changing my siblings' life. This is a shout out how much I love, Rob, Carl, Paige, Kelly. It's because they were there for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had to change their life.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to support me or get me to doctor's appointments or get me to radiation or, it's so much. So I wanted to do something for them, and they
Yeah.
have enough of everything.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking them on a 7-day vacation to Rosemary Beach.
Oh, beautiful.
And we rented a beautiful home on the beach with a pool. And, we were I wanted to make new memories. It's about the memories.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the stuff. That's one thing that I've actually, one of my ahas. You were asking me earlier, what have you really seen as your ahas? And one of them was like, this is just stuff.
Wait,
This is not even, I can't even believe that's what I was chasing when I was healthy.
Yeah. Just an awakening to that.
Yes.
Right. The Lord was like, oh, let's just cut that away. You don't need that branch anymore.
No.
We're going to grow something new. Right.
And he's definitely grown a new me.
Mm-hmm. How would you say the Lord has grown a new you? Like, I really feel like there's always a pruning process to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he just says, you don't need this, you don't need this, you don't need this, you don't need shame, you don't need, I mean, it's heavy hitting on that realm. Like, we're not going to be shameful about this. We're not going to be prideful about this. We're going to humble ourselves. We're going to just, find your inner strength. So for you, that's it's personal. It's a part of the Christian walk that we all will go through, that we just don't really speak enough about. It's a painful process, I think,
Yes.
but it's an important process to all of this. So you would say you really changed the way you value things in life. That's a major one.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I also learned to value myself more too.
How so?
Even in sickness, it's me making sure, and my siblings, that we're making the best choices we can. Is there anything else out there we don't know about that we should?
mm-hmm.
The Lord showing me verses and putting the right people in my life. He has put the right people in my life
Mm-hmm.
to also share with me their stories, their verses. Right now, I have such there's a Bible study group in my neighborhood of women, and they bring me lunch every Wednesday. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. They bring me lunch every Wednesday just to help out because, I'm going through physical therapy again.
Right.
You know what? You cannot let go of the throttle. Right. You have to keep pushing yourself. And that's another learning lesson. You have to continue to push. We can't settle for idle. So I end up looking at making sure I put a recumbent bike in my garage. I put an infrared sauna in my garage because cancer cells don't like that level of heat.
Right.
And I'm definitely willing to go the extra mile now to, I would say, to actually help others too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, part of the reason why this has come together with you and I is for me to share what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm in shock that there's not an easy button to hit on a web, on the, the World Wide Web, www. There's not a www.gbm4.com.
Right. That you just hit it and everything puts up, this is your protocol, right?
And it just feeds you. These are all the protocols used around the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's really not available without digging and digging and digging. Actually, when we were at Rosemary Beach, my family, I told my family, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to reread my key books. I want to make sure I'm on the right path. And is there anything I need to tweak?
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm being my own research person. I just want to make sure, is there anything I'm missing? Do I need to add it? And so you read everything again.
Mm-hmm.
You look at some of the new books. I looked at one called Healing Waters, looking at putting your body in an alkaline state.
Right.
And drinking alkaline water. And is there a health benefit to that?
Or is it just garbage, right? And it is hard to know. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to understand, what's out there. There is tons out there. I mean, alkaline water started in Japan way before we even heard about it here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And actually, the first alkaline water machine was developed in Japan. And so, there's just these little things that you take a look at, you read, you decide. Do you want to do it? Do you want to try it? And it's knowing that I can make those choices for myself. But I also, on big choices though, we consult as a family with my siblings and say, is this the right thing?
So do you always have been pretty close to your family, right? Yeah. So, but this kind of brought, I think, probably more of an intimacy, would you say? Intimacy means into me, see. That's when we break that word down. And when you're like totally vulnerable in that way, you're really bare. So I think it probably has brought you closer, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. But not just, we know how close we are as a family. Because even when we were a family of 7 with mom and dad, we were still really, really close.
Right.
As a family.
Right.
And we always did beach vacations starting 20 plus years ago.
Right.
That's why it was important to me to make new memories.
Yes.
But it's also important for the outside has seen us interact as a family and siblings. And there are so many people who have come to me, or my sister, my brothers, any of us. They cannot believe how close we are and how close we operate as a family. And they're just all quite amazed.
It's a team.
At how the Fab Five, as we call ourselves, and how we've made it through it, actually. Because I do think it's, sometimes they drop what they're doing to get me to my doctor's appointments or my immunotherapy appointments. Or, sometimes I can have immunotherapy treatment. I can have an MRI. I can have a doctor's appointment. I can have 2 physical therapy appointments. And I mean, that's all in a week. I mean, I can actually fill up almost every day with a doctor's appointment if I wanted to, between IV therapies, because even before my next MRI in 2 months, there's a whole list of IV therapies I want to make sure I get in the next 8 weeks. Ozone therapy, high dosage vitamin C, diflucan, SLA. I mean, there's just so many that I do think have a benefit, or at least I'll find out because I'm getting my blood work done on Monday.
Okay.
And they're actually going to do a microscopy too, which they're going to look at my blood and see what's in it. And, do they see any, I would say, flowing bacteria? Is there any type of, that type of function going on in my blood work? So I'm having a couple of things done even next week to help me see, where am I? What key IV therapy should I be doing? And just follow that guidance from Dr. Ganino's office on hey, what's next? Because I did take a little bit of a break because I started my Avastin, is what it's called. I do that every 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And I do look at, it's an immunotherapy. It's a preventative. Can I say it kills the cancer cells? Don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
It attaches some inhibitors to it, to try and inhibit it from going and growing and et cetera, et cetera. But I think it's a matter of me getting to that 12 to 18 month period that I'm looking forward to. And I'm interested in sharing just all the different studies I've looked at and the people I've looked at or books I've read. I mean, it's can save somebody a lot of time. Having a cheat sheet is what I call it.
Yeah.
My Excel spreadsheet is kind of my cheat sheet
Right.
of,
Yeah.
all
Paying
the-
it forward, right? Net positive. Right.
all the supplements, all the IV therapies, all the wellness drugs I'm doing. It's knowing that I've done everything I can do on this new journey that God has put in front of me, because it's definitely been a different journey.
Right.
I mean, I used to, negotiate $4 billion of money for a company in telecommunications and travel millions of miles over 2 and 3 years
Right.
on an airplane
Right.
to all these international companies that are now under tariffs.
Oh. Yeah.
But to what God has put in front of me today, sad to say, my company let me go.
Right.
So I look at it that, you know what? I have more time to research now.
Yeah. You have more time to research. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and as my sister said, Tracy, and one encouraging thing, I do encourage people with any type of terminal illness to go get on disability.
Okay.
That is money we've all paid into, right? Over our 40-year work career that, they owe us that back. So I do think that that's important too, to understand what is out there for you to get and gain. And Social Security, GBM4 is put as a top priority with them. I would say mine went through really, really quick on my disability. And I am receiving those dollars already from Social Security, but it helps pay for my wellness.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this doesn't come for free.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So that's some of the ways that, you're being provided for. So, healing comes in many different forms. And what would you say, how do you feel like, has there been a shift of perspective for you? That's, I think, one of the avenues that the Lord does for healing. Would you say there's been a shift of perspective for you, and how has that been?
I definitely think the shift in perspective has been more goal related.
Intentional.
Yes. Of number one, not just how can I make it longer? I'm not ready to be done with my family and with my friends and getting my massages and getting all my knots worked out by you.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But intentionally, I've got to see what he has for me at the next branch in the road. Because look, this came as a shock to all of us.
Right. And then shift in, I would say, like breaking off things that that didn't serve you. And so you would just say that that form of healing was just really, really defining that maybe possessions, right, are not as important as memories, and you've kind of let a lot of that go. What other things do you think you've let go of that you think served you? Was maybe hard for you to let go of, but then you realized?
That's a great question because I can easily answer that.
Okay.
It goes back to the stuff.
The stuff.
Stuff we have. I sold my home.
Mm-hmm.
I downsized.
Mm-hmm.
Because why did I need a 3-bedroom with an office, with a master home, with a pool?
Right.
You know, did I want to give up my pool? You know, my family, this is how they reacted. They wanted me to be happy no matter where I lived. Mm-hmm. I thought that was so sweet. Mm-hmm. But I knew readjusting my life to a different level of living, let's say, or income. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what? Did I really need that pool? You know, I'm in a house that's now paid for.
Right.
I have no pool, but I have a community pool.
Right.
So I'm not even paying to have my pool done or cleaned or fixed or worked on.
Right.
You know, and that goes in that collection of stuff that, you know, and I told my brothers and sisters, I said, I'm good with this now. I want to do it. I want to put my house up because that is what the Lord led me to see. Mm-hmm. All this stuff you have, Tracy. That's all it is. You can't take it with you.
Right.
You work so hard to gain so much more money. Money, money, money. You want to gain. You want to make more. And it's a matter of you can't take it with you. Mm-hmm. And that's why I took my brothers and sisters on their beach vacation.
Right. Yeah.
Because
new life.
It's there. Mm-hmm. It needs to be spent. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just not for me.
Right.
But it's for those that they've all impacted me in such a way I can never give enough back to them. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. If you could give advice to someone who's listening to this and that is they're now getting this news, what would be the quick advice if you could give them? Like, if you were standing in that doorway and you heard them being delivered this news, you're like, oh, what would that advice be? And you only have a minute with them, so you can't give them breakdown, you can't give them list. What would you say?
I would say act fast. Because there's so many people that I've seen and read about, whether it be some were inoperable, right? I was lucky. Mine was operable right above my right earlobe. So some are not. Some are on the stem cell and not operable. But act fast. Make decisions quickly as we did. Get your plan aligned.
Be intentional.
Because it's not just going to be one thing that's going to, you know, give you your body, your life back. It's with this type of cancer, it's not just one. It's not just a one is all. Unfortunately, you know, it's not. It's because you've got to stay ahead of that growth, of that regrowth. I mean, there are some people I look at where my blessings are and that I've only had one surgery. Some of it on people, it regrows within 2 weeks of it being taken out, or they've had 2 or 4 craniotomies from it continuing to come back. So that's what I'm fighting against.
Right. Well, you're doing a great job.
I'm trying to, and I'm willing to share any part of this with anybody, or any publications or names or books or my little cheat sheet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's, you know, but it's also sad because, like you said, I see people every day. Michael Bolton, the singer, just announced he has GBM4. I'm just like, wow. It's just coming from so many people. You can just Google famous people or celebrities and it brings you up a list of probably 6 or 8 people.
Yeah.
Who have it. I mean, so, you know, but there's definitely more money that needs to be put forth in the research.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I would say protocols are probably 20 years old.
Okay.
So there's a lot that needs to be done by Big Pharma, by the institutions, by all of these teams of doctors that are working to, you know, search for a cure, especially in this GBM space, or all cancers together, right? It's hopefully, you know, God drives them to find the next utopia of what will work. You know, what we obviously know what won't work.
Right.
So hopefully, you know, there will be some newfound discoveries that, you know, everybody's looking and hoping for and talking about in the entire cancer industry. Right. It doesn't matter if it's just GBM4. It could be breast cancer. It could be prostate. I mean, just so many types.
Right.
You know, 1 million people a year get cancer, and it's in the U.S., and it just needs to, you know, we need some
real concrete protocols just for really optimization. You know, I kind of talk about that a lot. I'm just really passionate about human optimization, because if you can just optimize the body and you can just get it communicating, talking, working, and stay on top of it, then you're proactive and not reactive. Does that mean we can prevent everything? No, but we can sure do our part. We don't have to wait for a cancer diagnosis to do our part.
Right. I mean, and that's a very good point, because, you know, the second thing I would say besides act fast, get on the keto diet. No sugar. You know, there's a lot out there to research on keto or no keto. Many people look at cutting back on their sugar intake because when you look at what cancer cells need, that's why you always do an MRI with contrast. And they say with contrast because that's when they shoot you with the liquid that allows, it's glucose. That's all they're shooting you with is glucose. But guess what? The cancer cells feed on sugar. They feed on glucose. So when they eat that contrast, they turn colors. And then you can actually see what is behind many different levels in your brain from the MRI, because they do a level of contrast, and that allows us to see, is there any color behind there? And thank God there isn't on mine, but that's how they find it, because cancer cells eat glucose. And so when they eat that glucose from your MRI, it lights them up like Christmas lights. And you can see that they're there.
So get that clean eating.
So it is important on clean eating, on exercise. You know, it's, there's many different areas to focus on.
Right. Yeah. So the people wanting the quick fix, the answer is no.
It's not going to be, the quick fix is not there. No. Otherwise, I would have done it.
Yeah.
I would have read
Right.
it. I would have shared it. And I share my story with even some of my coworkers who still want to keep up with me and how I'm doing. They're sharing it with some of their family
Mhm.
and even fraternity brothers and things like that on who end up in a state like this.
Mhm.
So, for me, it is about sharing what you know
Mhm.
and also praying for God just to keep me here one more day.
One more day.
As I say, every day I wake up and I'm on the green side of the grass, I know it's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of more gratitude.
Very much more
Mhm.
gratitude.
Mhm.
I mean, it's amazing what he's done for me this whole past year
Mhm.
and how he's gotten me through some really, really tough times.
Mhm.
I mean, it's both challenging, but it's also something that becomes almost your everyday life
Mhm.
that you've got to, as you say, trim the branches
Yeah.
and
Pruning.
what's going to come out on that new branch,
Yeah.
after that's done.
Well, I think too, what's really interesting is when you understand what pruning really is, the new growth is there's so much bloom. And in your story, you've mentioned it multiple times. This didn't affect just me. It affected my family. It didn't just affect our family. It affected other families that watched our family. So you start to see the bloom in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very evident if you're looking for it. So a lot of people say, well, where is God in all this? Well, if you start really looking, you'll start to see where the bloom actually is. And that's what he's doing. He's impacting. And the connections that you had, and this person, you sent out this text and that led you to this. And then that doctor knew this. It was just bloom, 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 bloom everywhere you look. So I think sometimes when people say, well, where is God in all this? He's just left me here. It's like, open your eyes. He's all everywhere.
Where is he?
He's everywhere.
Wow. I mean,
Mhm.
I could tell you story after story after story of how he's taken me from the ER room
Mhm.
to sitting here today
Mhm.
to be able to talk and function.
Mhm.
And I can't say that there's no evidence of disease because it's almost lurking there waiting.
Mhm.
So it's, I look for God's guidance on
Mhm.
how does he help me keep it at bay and making sure I do the right things and I take the right things and
Yeah.
that he provides the road or the new branch for me to walk out on.
Mhm.
I mean, it's now that I'm not working, I have more time and I do have more quiet time with him.
Mhm.
I would say, because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be sitting here with you today.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah.
I could have easily been in that 3-month period. Some of them are less.
Mhm.
Some of them are just weeks after finding out.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
definitely important for the thousands. I'm in a Facebook group for GBM
Mhm.
in general.
Mhm.
Could be a 1 to a 4, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Brain cancer. There's over 30,000 people in my Facebook group for just brain cancer.
Mhm.
I mean, that's what's sad,
Mhm.
is just the amount of people that it does impact.
Mhm.
And how can we get more of the word out there that
Yeah. So in those groups,
there's options, there's opportunities, I call them opportunities,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
of what can we do? I mean, everybody's looking for the next holy grail,
Right.
you know, and
Mhm.
I think we're serving him.
Yeah, we are. We are. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, sharing my personal story, that's part of one thing that's opened up
Mm-hmm.
about me.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problems of sharing anything with any of your listeners or your podcast listeners or
Mhm.
getting them up to speed on something, or definitely just have them reach out to me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here to share.
All righty.
I'm here to make sure that we, you know, have an advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when those questions come in, you're welcome to just leave messages up under the YouTube channel story, and we will get those and get you connected with Tracy in a way that she can get those answers to you and help answer those questions. So thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for
Yeah.
being here.
And I think I even shared some pictures with you of my journey too.
Absolutely.
That I'm like, hey, you're more than willing to share. I'm not embarrassed. This was me in certain states of my journey. And,
Right.
you know, when I only had the Lord's guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, thank you so much. It was great seeing you.
you
and
too.
I'm glad. And we'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.